Hello, and welcome back to another tutorial. I'm Harry, the AMI team member that's going to walk you through creating a location through the operator portal. Also on this video, we'll check out some things on the locations page, as well as look into the location details. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Go to the operator portal at www.amientertainment.net. Once you're there, log in with your username and password. Now that we're at the Locations tab, you'll notice at the top left, there's a drop-down menu showing all locations. That's the default. You can obviously click here, and you'll see any location that you've already created in a short list if you want to just look for that particular one right away. Over to the right of that is the Create Location button. We'll be using that in a little bit. And then just to the right of that is the Bulk Edit Locations. Be sure to check back for another video that we've made on bulk editing and how to use that feature. Now, directly under that is a map. I feel like I'm telling you something you already know. But let me explain the map a little bit. On it are a bunch of pins. These pins represent locations you've already created. If you wanted to hide the map, you could go to the right and click Hide Map. We're not going to do that. First, we're going to scroll down, and I'm going to show you some of these awesome headers here. What we've got here, all of these headers are actually my favorite part of this page. Each one of them can be used to sort the list. For example, let's go ahead and click on State. Now we can go through our list, and we can see that we are organized alphabetically by state. You can do that numerically with the zip codes or the addresses. It's such a great feature. It helps you find something much, much quicker because sometimes you may not remember what you nicknamed the location. Now that we're here, I want to show you a couple of cool things. Directly over to the left side, you'll see that there is a little icon, and it kind of looks like a tablet or a cell phone. That icon means that this location is mobile enabled. What mobile enabled means is that your jukebox has a location attached to it. There's only one jukebox there, and you have the ability to use the AMI Music app to select songs. We highly recommend this because it does cause revenue increases. And you have to have a location to be able to be mobile enabled. As I mentioned briefly before, there is one caveat. You technically can't have two jukeboxes at one location. This is set up this way so that you don't have a customer thinking they're buying a song on one jukebox and it's playing on another. The best way to get around this is to make a second location for that second jukebox, but you have to make sure to label it correctly. Let's say you have a location called Jill's Pub. Jill's Pub has an upstairs and downstairs, and you've got a location in each. You'll want to make a separate location for each one of those and make sure that you label them very clearly. Say you have one for Jill's upstairs and one for Jill's downstairs. It's that simple. Just make sure that the name of the bar tells you where the jukebox is at if you happen to have two in the same location. Now, another part of this page is devices. You'll see all of these icons show you what kind of device is at that location. So you've got some jukeboxes, you've got a couple of tap TVs, you've got nothing. Now, why would you have nothing? This is actually a really good question. Let's say that you used to have Jill's Bar, but you pulled your devices out of there. Well, the location stays here in your file. And what's great for that is if you end up going back to Jill's, you can go right back to that location. You wouldn't have to make a new one. So you could just move the jukebox over. And the final part I want you to look at is the local ads. You'll see on the local ads, it tells you the number of local ads that have been made. These local ads are ads that have been made or uploaded in the ad manager on this very site. We actually have a video for this, so definitely check back to see how to work that one. Ad Manager is a super powerful promotional tool that you can use to promote your business. And if you allow, your locations can actually make ads to promote their own business, whether it's 2-for-1 night, 5-cent wing night, or maybe it's ladies' night. They can make an ad for any one of those occasions and more. If you choose to give your location permission to use Ad Manager, that can easily be done through our companion app, Copilot. We'll have a video for that as well. Okay, guys, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Now we're going to learn how to create a location. The first thing we're going to do is scroll back up and click the Create Location button. Now you've got a pop-up with some fields that we're going to have to fill out. First, you'll want to put the name in. When you fill out the name, you'll see that the nickname auto-populates. Now, you can change this if you want and make the nickname say something that's more personal to you. But the actual name is what's going to show up in the AMI Music app. And that's how customers are going to find your jukebox and find the bars. So if they have our app, Location Services is going to say, hey, you're near Harry's house, as you can see I put here. But let's say you know this restaurant, bar, or other establishment is something else. Maybe you know the owner. And even though it's called Harry's house, the guy who owns it is named AJ. And all of your staff know it as AJ's place. That's what you'd do. You'd put in AJ's place into the nickname so that you and your staff know exactly where to find this in your account. The next step is to go ahead and enter your address in. I've actually got this auto-filled on the next page, so you don't have to sit around waiting for me to type. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to see Harry's house with the nickname the Old Casablanca. I've put the address 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Guys, we really don't have a jukebox at this location, so if you're thinking about playing Hail to the Chief to spam the jukebox, you're only going to confuse a bunch of software developers somewhere in Illinois. Once you've got your address put in, you're going to want to go down and click Next. What's going to happen is Google is going to try to offer you their approved address for this location, which will help them place a pin. That pin is actually how the mobile app's location services will be able to let people know if they're near one of your bars. If you don't agree with their offered address, or you want to make sure that you are mobile enabling a second jukebox at the same location, you'll want to click Use My Address and let me pin the location. That's right here. Now, what that would do when you click on it is keep what you've typed and let you place the pin. My recommendation, if it's two jukes in one place, is to place the pin just slightly next to where the actual one is offered. Now, for our purposes today, we're just going to go ahead and accept Google's offer. And we are going to click Next. At this page, what you're going to want to do is just double check to make sure everything that you see right here is correct. As long as it's correct, you're good to go on. We'll click Finished. This page is purely for your records. You could put the bar owner's name in there, and then the address and contact information to get a hold of them. It's almost like your own personal address book. This won't affect any of the location manager assignments or anything from Copilot. This is purely for your own records. If you want, you can even skip it. Again, this page is for your records. You can have an open to close time. You can have what days they're open, but it's just for your own records. You can also skip it by canceling. Now it's time to pick a jukebox. You'll want to click Next, and you'll see all of the jukeboxes that you have to offer. Let's go ahead and put one of my test jukeboxes in there. We can pick Harry's a Track Test. When we hit Next, we have this jukebox assigned to that location. We're going to click Finish, and this is going to bring us to the location details page. Now, I actually want to show you something else before I start telling you about the details page. If you ever need to get back here, it doesn't just come up when you finish creating a location. You can also get there through the location page. So as long as you click on the nickname here, you'll bring up your location details page. So let's go through some of the location details page information. Things that are really important to know about are the active location status or the This is my shop status. So the active location status is a designation that you give to that location to say, hey, we're using this location, we have a jukebox here, it's ready to go. The This is at my shop designation is for jukeboxes that you may have pulled out of someplace, but you want to visually see those jukeboxes' existence on the location page. So you create a shop location for yourself and then assign that jukebox to it so you can keep track of it. Let's go back to talk a little bit about what's under active location. If you check Visible in AMI Location Finder and Mobile Application Enabled, this makes it possible for your jukebox to be found by people with the AMI Music app. You're going to want those checked to ensure that you're getting those AMI Music app revenues. I really hope this video has been helpful, because this is it for location creation. Make sure to check back for another video where we explain more about the location details page. And remember, our tech support is open 24/7. Our phone number is 877-762-6765. And you can use the chat option on the operator website or the Copilot app. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can stay up to date on all of AMI's features that we have to offer. I'm Harry, and thanks for watching.